Hey y'all, so it is October 13th. I'm on my way out for a little night out and stuff like that. But I wanted to, God gave me this word last night actually based off some things that a couple of female friends of mine have been going through, and just even some people that I have been having dreams about been going through. God was ministering to me about their situation and stuff like that. And then I already felt the need to talk about it, especially in my last video where I had talked about boundaries when I was on my way out and I was driving and stuff like that. I had talked about boundaries then, and I knew it was something that I was going to come back around to, but then when the women around me was dealing with stuff, it's kind of like, yeah. And then God confirmed it today that he wanted me to talk about it today. So let's talk about it. We're going to be talking about boundaries and free will, right? So when it comes to boundaries, I want y'all to know and understand people cannot do what you don't allow them to do, right? So, and this is not like somebody can't lie to you unless you let them lie to you. No, they could lie to you until you stop allowing them into your presence where they can't even talk to you. When they can't talk to you, they can't lie to you, right? So a person can't cheat on you unless you let them cheat on you. You still in a relationship with them, that's how you letting them cheat on you. A person can't abuse you in any way unless you are allowing them into your vicinity, into your immediate presence, or even allowing them into your mind. They can't do what you don't allow them to do. Y'all, as I'm rewatching to edit and post, I just wanted to add this in here. When I say somebody cheats, if you still with them, then you give. This is people are human, so people are going to make their own choices. They're going to do what they want to do regardless. And should you realize that is something that is not for you, that is your time to leave. That is not your time to try to get them to change their ways. That is your time to leave or to make whatever adjustments you need to make on your end. A lot of what I'm talking about in this situation is we realize that we're dealing with a situation that we don't necessarily like, and instead of leaving, we try to stay and encourage them to do better. But this person is showing you who they are. And so to avoid you living a life full of hell or a life full of heartache and stuff like that, you need to figure out what you need to do on your end. And it's a lot of women who make their decisions based off what the men do. Oh, if he want to stay, then I'm going to stay. You're not even happy, though. He good because he going to do what he going to do. If you're focused on yourself. So when I'm saying in this part, I'm talking about making the executive decision to walk away, should that be something that you feel like you need to do if this person is not giving you what you want or what you feel like you need. Now, of course, in abusive situations, we know that we've heard of abusive situations on both parts, men being abusive and women being abusive. And I've been in abusive relationships, but I have never had to endure the type of stuff that some people have to endure, where they lose their life from being attached to somebody like that. Only thing that I can say there, y'all, is know when to leave. Know when to leave. I would say in my abusive relationships, they most definitely showed signs like, and I've talked to my brother about this, but abuse doesn't just start with, the person that you're in a relationship with. They don't usually just walk up and smack you, right? They start being verbally abusive. They might call you out your name. They might say something really disrespectful to you. They might try to isolate you from your family, isolate you from your friends, make you feel like none of these people are good enough for you to be around, so that they get you to yourself. Then they start saying bad things to you so that you start looking for them to boost you up. So the same way they'll say you look nice today is the same way to say you look fat. That girl down there, she look real good. You need to start looking like her. Because I've dealt with somebody who did that to me. I've dealt with a man who will put me up even against my best friend, who told me, yeah, you need to look like her. I think I'm falling in love with her. And my stupid self start feeling a way about my best friend.
they play with your mind first, and he did this way before he ever got physical with me. They play with your mind first. This is where discernment comes in so heavy. Discernment comes in so heavy at this part, because a lot of us women can avoid the physically abusive part of a relationship if we just pay attention to what these men is saying to us and how they are making us feel. We don't have to sit. He is not the best man out there for you. He is not the only man who can mess with you real good. It's a lot better out there, and they more respectful, and they'll do more for you. So you don't have to endure that type of abuse. You don't have to endure those things just to say you have a man. So, and again, you know, I know the physical abuse gets worse, and I don't feel like I'm qualified to speak on when it gets worse, because I've had stalkers, but I've never had like where I need to move states to get away from somebody. And I know that there are some women or men who have to endure that, and I'm so sorry for them. And I pray that they find a way out of that. I've never had to do that. But I've had stalkers, but I've never had somebody like that I knew was coming after me. I felt it, and I think that was just the paranoia that I had, because I had, you know, become so scared of this person. And I felt that they were chasing me. I felt like I would, you know, see them in random places and stuff like that. But there are some people that they know for sure that there's somebody trying to take their life. So I just wanted to put that here, because when I just listened to that back, I'm like, I don't want nobody to take that wrong. Like, the first time your man cheated on you or your girl cheated on you, let them do that. No, like, people make mistakes, people make choices, people do what they do. You just have to figure out if that's something that you want to live with. And it's not contingent on what they want to do. It's not even contingent on if they get better. Because guess what? If you get hurt that way, if you get cheated on and you get hurt and you feel like you can't move forward from it, then you need to leave instead of just throwing that in that person's face for the next 5 years. If you feel like you can't get over it, no matter what they do, whether they have improved or not, then you need to leave. But that is a decision that you need to make for you. It don't have nothing to do with them. So yes, what I'm talking about right here is I'm talking about us not doing what we need to do for ourselves. Us focus on what another person is doing versus us saying, yeah, I ain't finna deal with this, and then moving on. That's what I'm talking about. So I wanted to clear that up here before we move forward.
And that's just the reality of it. And this is coming from somebody who has endured mentally abusive, emotionally abusive, verbally abusive, physically abusive situations. Them men can't talk to me. They can't get near me. They can't say hey to me. Like, not only are they blocked off like my phone, but they blocked out of my mind. Like, you should, if they think about me, they should get the thought like, she don't want to talk to me. Because it ain't nobody from my past that I want to interact with. There's nobody from my past that I feel is good enough to talk to me. This is not me trying to sound vain, but this is just me knowing my worth now. And just knowing the people I used to deal with, man, they can't touch nothing around me. They can't touch the seat. They can't touch nothing around me. And so one of the people I remember, I asked this person, she boosting her dude up, she boosting him up. I'm just so in love with my man, and we ain't even in a relationship, like we not even committed, but that's my man and he know I'm his girl and stuff like that. And I asked her, I said, are you okay with not having a title? She said, yeah, like we locked in. That was 3 weeks ago. Last week, now he ain't got to be next to me blasting that music like that. I'm trying to talk to God's people. You gotta listen to the words sometimes, because sometimes God be trying to send me a little message through other people's music and stuff, like the distractions. What the devil wants to be a distraction is actually God trying to talk to me, so my bad. Nah. But anyways. So she said, nah, I'm good. We locked in and stuff like that. So me and her ended up having a conversation one-on-one. Now, this was through phone, this first conversation. Then me and her ended up having a conversation, like, in person. And I'm asking her, like, you know, she is like, I need more for him. Like, I'm not getting nothing from him. And I said, well, wait a minute. I thought you was cool with not having a title. I said, so listen. I said, he only giving you what you, like, been okay with accepting. So if you're saying... So then as we keep talking, she's like, well, I don't really want the title. I said, listen, you need to calm down right now. Because when you say you want more, what exactly are you looking for? You're looking for committed relationships. Don't lie to yourself and say you're not looking for one. You want that title. You want that man to claim you. You want him to take ownership of you. Why lie about it? Why lie and say that that's not what you want? Why lie and say that that's not important to you? And so I told her to sit with that. I said, listen, before you go to him and you tell him what you want from him, you need to be clear on what you want yourself. Because you've been telling me you cool with not having all that. And now you want that from him. But you've been saying all this time you cool with not having it. How he supposed to know? You don't even know. So, you know, they ended up having to have their situation. I had another friend who she has been in my life for years, since before I had my son. And she's always had an issue with dudes. She tends to be a little more masculine. So she claims she don't want love. She just want to be able to get that itch scratched whenever she wanted. So she like being able to call the man over to come and do XYZ and do this, and then she kick him out and stuff like that. And so now my friend, she has a 3-year-old, but she is now also pregnant with a little girl. She's doing a couple months. And she's not with either of the kids' father, which is nothing wrong with that, because if they weren't good situations, then that's not what she needed to be in. However, I finally was honest with her, because you know, sometimes you have to tread lightly when it comes to your friends and the stuff that they do. Like, you gotta let people, everybody, you can't tell everybody what they're doing wrong, because everybody don't receive that. And honestly, I don't like being friends with people that I can't tell the truth to, but I also do know that there's a time and a place for you to be able to tell that truth, and you want God's grace over that, so that you're saying it in a way where your friend can interpret it, versus them taking offense. People gonna take offense to what they want to take offense to, but when you speak in God's timing, it has his anointing over it, to where, like, it's like, even in their head, if they want to take it wrong, he's like, nah, they're not saying it like that. They're not saying it like that. Listen to what they're saying. They're not saying it like that. And there's times where it even happened to me. Somebody could say something that's completely against what I feel God wants for me, and I already guard myself up, and he's like, no, I want you to listen to what they're saying. Everything, 100% of what they're saying may not be for you, but I may have a word in here for you. So I need you to listen. Listen to what they're saying. So she's a friend that I ain't never really been able to tell her about her issues with guys, having all these guys around, you know, sleeping with guys and stuff like that. It's not, listen, everybody can't be celibate like me, because it's real hard for me to be celibate. I don't even know how I'm doing it, to be honest. Let me just be real with you. I don't know how I'm doing it, but I'm doing it. But, you know, I had never been able to have that type of conversation with her. And so, is y'all gonna let me over? Yeah, you're gonna have to let me over right here. And then can you let me over again, please? Right here. Yep. Okay, so so I never been able to talk to her. So when she telling me about this last guy that she was dealing with, and how, you know, it worked for her because he would come over when her son was asleep, and then she could kick him out, and he, you know, all this emotional stuff he talking about, and she not with it, and why you talk, we just doing this, we just doing that. And I said, I said, listen, first off, stop acting like that. Stop acting like you don't want love, because you do. And I said, and there's nothing wrong with you wanting love. Like, I want love. Like, it's nothing wrong with what you wanting. And she was like, nah, I don't even want love. Like, I don't want love. I just want to be acknowledged for the person that I am, for the woman that I am. Like, I'm this loving and caring woman, and I want to be acknowledged for that. Like, I want that to be seen. I said, so, because she had interrupted me. I said, hold up. You do want love. And by the end of this phone call, I'm going to need you to say, hi, my name is so-and-so, and I want love. I said, because when you saying you don't want love, you just want to be acknowledged. I said, okay, these men acknowledge you, then what you want? Okay, they say, yeah, this a good woman. She really loved me. She'll take care of me. And then what? What else do you want? You said you want to be acknowledged. You got that, but you're not going to be happy with it, because the reality is you want that love back. You want it to be reciprocated. It's too many times us women like, yo, social media got us clowning for real. We wanting, men and women, we wanting romance. You might as well get over now. Sorry, y'all. Y'all. Okay, for real, stop. Social media make it feel like relationships is bad. Make it feel like relationships is so bad that we could just want this friends with benefits relationship, and we could just mess around with these people and not have no connection. For what? Why are we in a world with people and we don't want to be connected with people except for only sexually? Why is that? Why would you want that? Stop lying to yourself and saying you don't want something when you do. Don't let these men play in your head and play in your face like you got this list. Let me put it like this. You got this list of what you want in a man. And a man comes along and say, yeah, I ain't really looking for that right now. Like I'm trying to get myself together. I ain't looking for that. And you throw that list away because you want him so bad. Yeah, I don't even really want these things neither. So yeah, let's just do what we do. Let me just get what I could get from you. And, because I don't really want this. Yes, you do. Why are you lying? You want that. Why would you lie and say you don't want that? And then guess what? In 3 months, you mad because he ain't gave you what you wanted. But from the very beginning, he was honest. And he told you he don't want to give you that. And you the one that lied. You're the liar in that situation, because you're the one that said, yeah, I don't really want that. Be true to who you are. But guess what? That means you can't have what you want. And guess what? You got to be what you think you want. Let me say that, what you think you want, because that man that you think you want, you don't even really want him like that. You want the stuff that's on your list. You want listen, I'm gonna speak from a godly sense. You want the man of God or the woman of God that he has for you. You don't want no quick made version of it. You don't want the microwavable version of it. You don't want the counterfeit version of it. You want the real thing. So stop lying to yourself, because guess what? The men already know you're lying. So when you sleeping with a man and you saying, yeah, I don't really want a relationship, he knows you're lying. He knows it. You're only lying to yourself, and he's going to get what he can get from you. And the whole thing that make me mad about men sometimes is that you don't want to give that girl nothing, and she wants something, or she going to eventually want something, because we're not built to just be messing around like that. We're not built for it. Maybe in previous seasons, because never mind. We're not built for that. We're built to nurture and take care of these men and be their woman and stuff like that. We're not built to just be messing with these men and acting like we don't have no feelings. They not even built like that. That's why they act so slow now. And y'all, listen how I talk. Please don't come on here like don't be calling people slow. Yes, they're slow. Don't come on. I'm not the channel for you. I'm not the channel for you. I would never disrespect nobody, but yes, people be acting slow. This is not nothing against nobody who actually has any type of disability or anything. So please don't take it that way. And if you happen to be a person who has a disability, please know and understand that I'm not talking about you. So please, y'all, please do not take it that way. Please do not take offense to nothing that I'm saying right now. Not if I, call somebody slow. Don't. Everything else you probably should take offense, because it's probably God talking to you. But yeah, so that's why they act like that now. You walking around running from your feelings because you really love somebody. You really want to be with this girl, but you're scared because you don't know what it. That's why they act like that. Men are not even supposed to be walking around acting like they ain't got no feelings. That is a traumatic thing. That's a generational curse that needs to be broken. Because guess what? The real men, they feel stuff. They may not be able to verbalize it to others just yet. I'm praying because there's a time that's going to come where men, healthy men, are going to be able to lead, and they will say what is going on with them. They will be able to verbalize what's wrong. But until that time comes, there are still men who can verbalize to themselves what's wrong. And that's all you need. You need to be able to verbalize it to yourself and verbalize it to God. That's it. But a lot of these men is walking around like they ain't got feelings. Like they just hard and stuff. Nobody's supposed to be hard like that. When you're hard like that, God cannot use you. God cannot move you. You are immovable. You can't do nothing for him. He cannot use you walking around with a hard heart, mad at everybody, acting like don't nobody love you and don't nobody care about you. And people trying to show you love, but your heart is so hard you can't even receive it. Like, no. So yeah, ladies, please stop with the acting like you don't want a relationship. And even the third, because there was a third person. This third person, and I had this conversation with her a long time ago, but I had this conversation again because I keep having dreams about her dealing with a guy. She's dealt with a guy off and on for years. The guy will come forward and tell her good things, and she get with him. Then they be messing around, and then he all of a sudden disappear on her again, or try to break things off with her again, and just like really playing with her head. And I used to tell her like, why you letting that man play with your head like that? Why you let him do that to you? You know, you got a kid and stuff like that. Why you letting him play in your head like that? So, she's another one. We had a dinner one time, some time ago. It was last year, I believe. And she said she was just messing around with him. She didn't want a relationship. She just taking what she can get. And I said, listen, there are times and moments and with specific people where us as women, we are able to just mess around with them. We don't want nothing serious with them. We don't like them. I just like what you do to my body. Sorry. I just like what you do to me. But I don't really like you. There are some times that we can do that. Then there are times where we try to go back to exes and just try to have that going, knowing that we got love for them, knowing that we got some type of soft spot for them in our heart. That's not the man you could do that with, ma'am. That's not. I mean, if you really wanna, you know, just get your rocks off, you know, maybe have a one-night stand. I'm not suggesting that, because I'm not suggesting you should fornicate. But I'm just saying, moving backwards to people that you once had love for, or who once had your heart in some type of way, you can't just mess around with them people. Because you're going to feel something for them. You're going to have something for them. Don't play with your own head. It's not them playing with you. It's not them playing with your mind and stuff. It's you playing with you. You being loose with your heart and being loose with your body and just letting them get off on how they get off. And then you get mad because you're not getting more than a wet behind. It's you. It's not the men. One thing that I love about men, for real, is they are incredibly selfish. Us women need to be a little more selfish with our minds, with our hearts, with our bodies, with our love, with our money. Y'all out here tricking off on these men. I can't believe y'all doing that. Y'all are buying love. Come on, y'all. Ladies, come on. We gotta get together. We gotta get it together, y'all. Y'all making me look bad out here. But stop lying. Stop lying to yourself and saying you don't want these things when you do. Get what you want. Don't get no fake version of it. Get exactly what it is that you want, because it's out there. And then that brings me to free will, because when we say all that, and then I tell you all about my journey with my best friend, who I say God says is my husband, it's kind of like, Aaliyah, how you saying all this stuff and you dealing with somebody who got in a relationship with another girl and he's not claiming you, and yeah, y'all don't think I feel slow? Y'all don't think I feel slow about that? But that's where God's will versus free will comes in. Because I don't want nothing outside of God's will. And everybody, I truly hate when people say you got free will. No, I don't. Because let me tell you, that man got some grace on me. That man covering me. I don't want to be from up under his covering, because I decided that dealing with my best friend was too much, and I just wanted to step outside of that and get something elsewhere. And now I'm struggling my whole life, and now I don't have the businesses, and now I'm living paycheck to paycheck, and now I'm just really not understanding what to do with my life, because I decided to act on my free will. You can't pay me to do that. And guess what? I got stories of times that I tried to act on my free will. The guy that I was talking to, his name started with a K, so we're going to call him K. He got on my nerves so bad. I'm talking about, I got a tension headache because I'm arguing with this man about not respecting my boundaries. But guess what? Guess who first didn't respect their boundaries? Aaliyah didn't first respect her boundaries. Because on the Thursday when I canceled the date, I told him I canceled that date because he did not respect my boundaries. When my best friend texted me the next day and said he wanted some space, I called that man back. That man ain't taking me serious. You just said to me the day before you didn't want to talk to me no more. Now you talking to me. Maybe you missed me. Maybe you just had time to think about it. So maybe you realized what you was talking about ain't even really that big of a deal. So, you feel me? Now he thinking that what I'm really serious about isn't something for me when it really is. But I'm the one that first disrespected that boundary. I first disrespected my boundary, not him. So I couldn't even be mad at him for the fact that he kept saying the stuff, because when I told him I didn't want to deal with him no more, I should have left it at that. But because my best friend upset me and hurt me, I'm like, yeah, let me try to move on. And I moved on right into a headache.
And not only did he not respect my boundaries, but he would have literally been the opposite of what I wanted, his mind. Y'all, let me tell you one thing about me. I pay attention to the jokes that people make. Because out of all the things that you could have said, you said that. I remember, y'all know, being a project manager. I was talking to this man about how I was talking to business owners. And he said, oh, look at my baby being such a boss. I'm trying to be a stay-at-home dad. See what that be like. What you mean by that? I know a man who's supposed to be trying to provide for me ain't hardly saying that I'm going to be the worker and he's going to be at home with the kids. I know a man ain't hardly said nothing like that to me. And then he and I had got close enough for him to come to my house. So he came to my house a couple nights. And the second time, he was like, because it was late, he was like, and I had fell asleep. He was like, I hate to have to wake you up to walk me out. I know within the next year I should have a garage door opener. Excuse me? Listen, that's what I'm talking about when I say y'all tricking off on these men. Because these men is getting or dealing with real women and getting too comfortable wanting to be taken care of. I can't believe that man made that joke to me talking about being a stay-at-home dad while I work. Are you crazy? Y'all is out here wilding. That's why I said it's fentanyl in the dating pool. Because there's no way a grown man would ever come at me like that. This junk is scary out here. It is scary out here, y'all. And then that's not the only example that I have of me trying to move outside of the will of God, because I had an ex last year that I kept trying to get with. I kept trying to make him fit in that box that my best friend is supposed to be in, and I would feel so tormented. But I didn't understand it because he was literally doing everything and saying everything that I wanted, but I could not trust him. Y'all, remember how I talk about God sent that tormented spirit into Saul, and that's why he was chasing David like that? I felt so tormented talking to this man. I felt so tormented being in his presence. And he wasn't even doing nothing wrong. This is somebody that I had a long relationship with for years. And I was experiencing him in a new way because we went out on dates. We had never been on dates before. We was really just messing around, but we had been on dates. We would talk on the phone for hours. Like, we was doing things, but I could not trust that man for nothing. I was tormented, and I ended up just stopped talking to him because I said, listen, you're not doing nothing wrong. I don't know what it is, but I don't trust you. And he would be like, well, what can I do? Like, what is it? And I'm like, I don't know what it is, but I can't trust you. And I'm not here to have you jumping through hoops and stuff like that. Because I know the type of woman I am. I don't need no man to chase me if it's a mutual affection for him as he has for me. You don't got to chase me. You don't got to apply no extra pressure. You just got to be consistent and we're good. And he was he was having to jump through too many hoops for me, and it wasn't working. I wasn't doing it. So that's the only other time that I tried to step outside the will of God. Only with these two guys. On a serious note, I would say I've definitely, dated or talked to guys or whatever, but these are the only two that I was like almost serious with, and it was just like, yeah, that's not gonna work.
So I'm saying this to say it's a struggle sometimes, but it's so much better to just wait for what you want. Wait for it. You got free will, but you got God's will, and God's will is greater than anything that you could ever imagine, anything you could ever want. Think of your greatest dream, y'all. Think of the greatest thing, think of the biggest thing that you want, and know that God can give you more than that. Is that something that you really want a chance? You really want to play with? My greatest dream is this, and he can give me that. Is that what you really? I'm not playing with that. I'm not playing with that. So, I can give amazing advice when it comes to women, when it comes to boundaries, when it comes to men and stuff like that. And yeah, sometimes it'll look like I'm being a hypocrite because I done been waiting on this man for 3 years. But understand, my loyalty ain't even to him. It's to God. I ain't doing this to get him. I'm doing this to please God. I absolutely would want to be with him, but I want God. So if God showed me a man in a grocery store tomorrow and said that could be your new husband right there, I'm not gonna be quick to jump on. I'm gonna ask him, all right, so what you want me to do with my book and my podcast? Because I done talked about my best friend, all through these things. What you want me to do with those first? What is my life going to look like with this new man? Because you done gave me all these business ideas with my best friend. I ain't never even wanted to run a business. You done gave me all this stuff about his stuff. You done gave me all this stuff about our marriage ministry. Like, you done told me, so what can this new man, what he going to do for me? Is this your best? Is my best friend still your best, or is this man your best? If the man is the best, I'll take that. If my best friend is still the best, then I'm just gonna have to wait. Cause I don't want to settle for nothing. Is God's best? He got a plan A, that's the best, and then he got a plan B. I don't even want his plan B, even if it's from God, cause that's not his best. I want his best. So yeah, I can act on my free will, but I don't want to. Because that's not going to give me what I need to fulfill my purpose. I got so much testimony from this walk with my best friend, y'all. I got so many different ways that I could talk to people just from dealing with him, just from the things that I've learned along the way. I told y'all, the way that God has shaped me to be this man's wife, I was talking to a woman one day, just asking God, talking to her, giving her tips that God gave me. This lady asked me, do I offer marriage counseling? I'm not married in no type of way, but I'm talking to her. I'm giving her the godly advice that God gives me as he has shaped me to be my best friend's wife. And this lady asked me, do I offer marriage counseling? Like, listen, can this new man, do I have purpose with him? Is there purpose with him? If there's not no purpose with him, if it's not your best, I don't want it. I just don't. If it's your best, if you telling me that man is better than my best friend or they equal, I'll take it. Well, I'll take it if that's what you want. If that's what you really want, because I wouldn't want him to be like, here, just take this right here then, since you're so impatient. I wouldn't want that. If anything, come and say, daughter, I know you waited a long time for this, and he just ain't acting right, so I'm gonna just give you this. Even that, is that settling? Are you just giving me something just to give it to me, or is it your best? I want God's best. I don't want nothing less than that. So yeah, if you have questions about how I can come on here and give this type of advice, but then still be dealing with the situation I'm dealing with, because I don't want to I don't want to act on my free will. My free will ain't gonna get me nowhere but in a circle, right back here asking God for his help. I don't got time for that. And you know what's so funny is, as I've been saying, y'all, you know, stuff is gonna look so different than what we think, what we want. Tonight, after I go out with my friend, God told me to go to the bar where my best friend works. Now, mind y'all, we have not talked since September 20th, so it is almost a whole month. It's been 3 weeks. I feel like it's been longer than that, but... And God wants me to go to his bar. God wants me to sit to the bar. Now, I asked him multiple times, because one thing about me, and I told y'all this before, I don't do no initiating with no man. I like to, even when I go out and, you know, a man is trying to get my attention and stuff, all I do is sit there, look pretty. I give you the eye, give you a little smile, and that's it. Am I going to walk up to you? Heck no. Am I finna ask you for your number? Heck no, I don't do that. Y'all ain't y'all the hunters? All right, hunt me then. I don't do that extra stuff. I just sit there and look pretty. So God told me to go to his job, and I'm like, first off, we're not even talking right now. Why would I go to his job? And then what is we gonna talk about? Because he need to be coming to me. He don't want to ask for space. He need to be coming to me. God sent me this thing about acting flirty. So I'm like, I kept asking him what he wanted. God told me to go in there and act like I'm a stranger, like I don't know him, which is so funny, because I always told him that I wanted to role play, like going to a bar and stuff like that, and act like I don't know my person. So God wants me to go in there and role play, act like I don't know him. Go sit to the bar, talk to him, but not as I know him. Just talk to him as a patron visiting this bar for the first time. And the first time he told me that, I asked him to confirm it, and he sent me to, I told him to confirm it by telling me like somebody is moving into somebody else's land or something like that. He took me to Deuteronomy chapter 10, where verse 11 says, as I lead you, or lead the people into the land that I'm promising them. Then he led me to Hebrews chapter 3, verses 7 through 8. Today, when you hear his voice, don't harden your heart. Then he led me to, it was several scriptures, so I have to go back and look by the time this video is posted. But yeah, he wants me to go, and I thought this is so funny. And I'm just like, okay, God, I definitely see where you say I definitely see where you're saying, like, don't expect certain things, because he's going to move differently. Because again, I would never go to my best friend like this. And it's so crazy, because I was listening to some video earlier this week, and they were talking about, I don't know if it was an old video that I listened to before or something else, but I was talking about how, you know, some women, they don't want to go to the man and stuff like that. But it's several women in the Bible that they needed to be in a position for the men to see them. So David, when he saw Bathsheba, she had to be outside taking that bath in order for him to see her. And when he came out from after his nap and he was on the roof, he saw her because she was in position. Ruth, Boaz woke up and saw her because she was at his feet. She was in position. Eve, when Adam opened his eyes, Eve was there. God presented her to him. And are those the only women in the Bible? I think so. Esther was presented to the king. Esther had to go to the king in Esther chapter 5. She was presented to him in Esther chapter 2. But even when she had to go on behalf of the people, she was presented to him in Esther chapter 5. So she had to be presented. She had to go to him. And so where I got this big thing where I'm like, I don't want to initiate nothing. I don't want to do nothing. God is just presenting me. He presented me. He ain't telling me to say nothing to that man about nothing. Don't ask him nothing about the past. Don't ask him nothing. Talk to him as if this was my first time ever meeting him. And I think that that's so funny and so cute and exciting. And I'm a little anxious to see how it's going to go. But God told me in 1 Peter chapter 4 verses 1 through 2, you know, to stop chasing my own desires and be anxious to do God's will. And so I have a good anxiety right now. I have a good kind of anxiety right now. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with my good anxiety. I'm okay with me just being interested in seeing like what God is doing and how he's doing it. And, you know, so I'm going to go enjoy my night with my friend. And then I'm going to go to, and I also asked God, because also where his job is at, it's a couple different bars with the same name. So I had asked, and I couldn't find a text message with which one. So I just Googled the mall that it's by, right? So it's the name of this mall. And then I was watching a movie. I was watching something. And right as I was starting to get anxious again, the girl said the name of the mall. She said the name of the mall, and because she's in Atlanta, she said the name of the mall, and then that's when God led me to 1 Peter 4 verses 1 through 2. So it's like God was confirming that this is where he want me to be. I don't know why. I hope he don't got me seeing no crazy stuff, because I would hate for him to see his daughter show out. I'm just playing. I'm not playing. I'm actually really not. I'm playing. I think I'm playing. I don't know. You guys, I don't be knowing these days. But anyways, so I'm going to go enjoy myself. And, you know, we'll see what happens. But yeah, can ladies take back our control and stop letting these men control us because we're out here lying to them, saying that we don't want stuff that we really do? Get what you want. Be clear about what you want and get that. Don't let these men make you feel like you gotta lie about it. So, yeah, y'all. I gotta, yeah, y'all. I'll see y'all later. I'll see y'all later after I leave this event or leave the, my best friend restaurant. I don't know. But I'll see y'all later. Hey y'all, so I am leaving my best friend's job. I did see him. It was a time. First off, I have not seen him since September. I have not talked to him since September. So it was a shocker for him to see me there. But of course he likes to keep his game face on, so that's fine. Like, but it was something for both of us. Just as much as I was smiling, he was smiling too. I was smiling more though, because I'm just that, but you know, I think he was happy to see me as well. Did we accomplish anything? No, the purpose was not to accomplish anything in me seeing him. The accomplish was just to do whatever God told me to do. I don't know what the purpose was. I do know that when I got to the bar, he was servicing someone else first. So when he finally saw me, he came over to me as if he knew me. Excuse me? He's like, what's going on, huh? What do you mean? I don't know what you mean by that. So I asked him, to get me a drink. He got me a drink. And then he started talking to me. And I said, well, what's your name? And he's like, oh, my name Ben. And I said, oh, Ben? And he's like, okay, well, what's your name? And I said, oh, my name is Aaliyah. So he had a fake name. I had a real name because I'm real. I'm just playing. Yo, my face hurt. My face hurt. But it was nice, and we talked a lot. And we talked. We didn't talk a lot because, of course, he's servicing other patrons and stuff. But it was a good time, and at the end, we even talked about men being leaders and having to be followers, because he's the one that said, in order for you to lead, you have to follow. And I said, yeah, exactly. And so I don't feel like most men understand that. They just want to lead, but they don't understand that they have to follow too. Because what happened was, he asked me something about my drinks. Because he was telling me I couldn't get no more to drink. And I was like, you don't tell me what to do. I tell, I make the decisions for my own life. Like, you can't tell me that. And he was like, where your man at? Like, wait, you got a man at home? Because I want to know what he, think about your thinking. And I was like, no, I don't have a man. I said, I did have somebody that I was just like allowing to lead me for a while. Or something like that. Something as I mentioned about somebody's leadership. Somebody leading me and me following them in XYZ. But I said something about like I said I was just dealing with something for 3 years. I said I don't want to say 3 years, but like 3 years of just following somebody's leadership and just realizing like, I said I was listening to them and doing what they said, but they, wouldn't really allow me to do that for them. And that's how I feel about him. Like, and I've said that to him. I was like, you don't allow me to contribute to your life. I've said that to him, not tonight, but I've said that to him. So I'm telling him how I feel about him. And, we talked, and that's when he mentioned, well, to be a leader, you have to be a follower. I said, yeah. I said, that's what I need men to understand. And I even asked him, like, would you allow somebody to contribute to your life? And he's like, it depends on what that person got going and what, if they know what they're talking about. And I said, well, how will you know? Because you don't know if what they say will work. It could work, but you don't know for sure that's what they think, And he gave me something that I forgot. But then I told him, like, for me, like, he asked me would I allow somebody to do that for me. And I said, it depends. I said, because there are moments where somebody is talking to me about something in my life, and God will tell me immediately to shut it down because it's not from him. And then there'll be some times where God will give me a word that's absolutely, all of it is not for me. Some of it is. But he will tell me to stop being so hard-hearted. And he will tell me to listen to what's being said because part of the message is for me. And so, that's just how I have to use my discernment. I don't take everything somebody say as for me, but I also don't rebuke everything that somebody say too. You just never know how people use people. How God used people, excuse me. So we got to talk and stuff like that. And it was, like I said, y'all, this is the love of my life. So it felt really nice to see him. I haven't seen him since last month. I haven't talked to him since last month. And I just want to I just want to be on good terms with him, but in the right way. I want to be on good terms in the right way. I know what God has called for in our life. And, if I'm the one that's hindering him from hearing God, then I don't want to be around. If I'm the one that's stopping him from listening to God, and my attitude is God is saying, yeah, Leah is your wife, and he's coming to terms with like, yeah, she could be my wife. And then I give him an attitude and I go off on him, and he's like, yeah, no, there's no way she could be my wife. If I'm doing all that and I'm preventing it from happening, then move me out the way. Move me out the way. I'm fine with that. If he's listening to God and he's allowing God's words to penetrate his heart, and then it's me who's coming with my attitude or coming with my frustration, and I'm making things even more challenging than they already are, then move me out the way. I'm fine with that. So, I'm so sleepy now. So I don't know. But it was a good time. I got some laughs. I got to enjoy Benjamin. Y'all know it's so crazy. Oh my gosh, this just spoke. I just remember this. So my husband's name that I call him, or that his friends and family call him, that's not his real name. He has another name. He has a name that his mother gave him, right? But I told him, oh my gosh, God, I told him, I said, why you ain't name yourself? Because the name that everybody call him is the name that he gave himself. It's not a nickname that he's had from birth or anything like that. It's a name that he gave himself. I said, why you ain't name yourself Benjamin then? Why wouldn't you name yourself Benjamin? Why would you choose that name? You could have named your name Benny. Y'all, that's the name. And he said today his name was Ben, but I kept calling him Benjamin. Because that's what I do. If I know somebody's real name, I ain't calling you no nickname. I'm calling you your real name. You telling me your name Bob, your name Robert. Your mama named you Robert, your name Robert. Oh my God. I just thought about that because I feel like I've called him Benjamin once or twice before. Wow, that just hit me. That's just so crazy. I call him a lot of nicknames, y'all. You'll be surprised at how many different names I call him. I rarely ever call him the name that he told me is his name. I rarely ever call him that name. I call him that name when I'm mad at him. But outside of that, he got so many nicknames. He got so many names that I call him. It's so funny. Ooh, my face hurt and I'm tired. But yeah, y'all, so I just want to let y'all know it was a good night. I don't know what's going to happen from there. I just know I did what God told me to do. And essentially, I feel like I was presented to him again. I feel like I was presented to him. And you know, God is gonna do the rest. I ain't looking to do nothing. I'm not looking to text him tomorrow. I'm not looking to text him when I get home tonight. I'm not looking to text him when listen, you asked for space, so that's what you got. And you know, it's so funny because I told him that because he started asking about my son, and I said we're not friends right now. Now initially I wasn't supposed to do that, so I don't know if that was right to do that. I was just supposed to continue acting like we don't know each other. But then he started asking about my baby. And my thing for me is, I know he cares about my son. But until you make a decision on what you're going to do, you ask me for space. So you don't get to ask about him. You don't get to talk about him. You don't get to bring him up anymore. You have to wait until you decide that you want to be an active part of our life. And that's a boundary that I just had to stand on today. I would love to tell him about my baby. I would love to tell him about what space he's in, how school is doing, how good he's doing with his work. I would love to tell him, but you asked for space. You asked to not be friends right now. So you can't ask about my son. And that's a hurtful thing. Because this is somebody that I'm calling to help me discipline my son. Hey, he acting up. Get on him. And he gets on him. But boundaries. And so, yeah, after that, we just kept talking about, we just stayed on, you know, me being a patron and him being a bartender. I even asked him, you know, like in the movies where like the bartender will go home with the patron. I'm like, is that how it works here? Because this is like a restaurant bar. Like, but you know, like in the movies, they be like bars. But is this like a restaurant bar? This is like a restaurant bar. So is it the same way? And he was like, straight face too, y'all. No smile or nothing. He's like, I don't know. It depends on the bartender. I said, oh, okay. All right, that makes sense. And he was like, yeah, let me know if you have any more questions. Y'all, for some reason, like, stuff like that just make me, one thing about it, God tells us, me and him all the time, well, he tells me that we are to have like a childlike relationship with each other. So when we are giddy and flirtatious and just laughing and giggly, that's how God wants us. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just because it keeps the peace, or this is just how he calls us to be with each other. But when we are like that with each other, God loves it. God, oh my gosh, I know my voice sounded so crazy just now. God loves it. Like, Holy Spirit be giddy, jumping for joy when he and I are just laughing and giggly with each other. It's always been like that. Even when he would come to my house and stuff like that, Holy Spirit will like want us joking with each other and, you know, kind of talking trash, but just joking with each other and being funny with each other. So tonight was like a funny night, and I don't know, it felt good. My heart is open, but I ain't looking for nothing, because ultimately, let me go, y'all, I'm so sleepy. Ultimately, this is what God wanted me to do, and I don't know why he wanted me to do it, but I did it. I hope he's pleased. I hope he's pleased with the interaction. I hope he's not mad with the thing that I said about my son, like, you know, not telling him nothing about my son. I just want to keep the boundaries clean, and this could be me trying to control the situation, but when you give me that type of like thing, like telling me that you can't be a part of my life right now, that's it. Ain't no back and forth, ain't no in and out, ain't no one foot in, one foot out. I don't play that, especially when it comes to my son. I definitely don't play that by myself, but about my baby, I'll play it with my family. I got a sister right now that I won't allow to be around my son because she so-called was beefing with me, so she stopped talking with him or stopped dealing with him. Don't ever make it seem like you can't be a part of my son's life because of me. I'm never nobody that important, and I always stand on that with everybody. I was even like that with his dad. You ain't gotta not deal with him because of me, because I don't want you. This your bloodline. And I always felt like that, but when people make the decision to not be a part of my son's life, I take it personal, because he only has one side. He only has his mama's side. So I take it real personal. So I don't, my best friend trying to ask about him, no, you cannot ask about him. You can't even mention, you really ain't supposed to even mention his name for real right now. So you decide that you want to be a part of his life. I don't know if that's a flaw of mine or if that's a real strong boundary that I'm having, but I don't let nobody play with my kid. I don't do that. So, yeah, y'all, this video gonna be longer than I wanted, because it's like 3 different videos. But anyways, y'all, that was this night. Tonight was good. I enjoyed myself. I had great conversation at both places. I truly enjoyed myself. You guys, live life. Life is to be lived right now, no matter what's going on around you. Live your life. Meet people. Go out with yourself. Take yourself on solo dates. I definitely do solo dates. I haven't in a while, but I do. But enjoy life. Enjoy life. Life is passing. You never know when your last day is. Go live your life. Go get cute. Go get handsome. Go get yourself done up, and then take yourself out. Do what you need to do for yourself. Alright, y'all, that's the end of my word, because this word too long and I'm sleepy and I really need to put some music on or something to get up. So, alright, y'all be blessed. Oh, real quick, y'all, I didn't tell y'all I left him my name and number on a receipt paper. I didn't take a picture of it. I don't think I did. But I was like, I said, I think you're really cute. You should reach out if interested. Sorry, I was too shy to say in person or something like that, but I left my name and my phone number for him, and I said for the bartender Ben or something like that. But yeah, God told me, and this is something that God told me earlier today to do, just, you know, when I'm leaving, write my name and number on the paper, like as if like this is nobody that I know. And it's crazy because I would never do that in person. Like for real, I would never do that. I would never write my number down for a man who has not asked. You have to give me your number. I wouldn't write my number down for a man, because I feel like that's pursuing in a certain way. I'm not pursuing a man. So if a man wants me, he has to come and get me. So God just had me stepping all outside the box today. But it was fun and it was cute, and you know, he gonna do something with it. Or not. I don't know. Maybe he just wanted me to get my flirt on. I don't know. But yeah, I wanted to come back and say that because I thought that was fun. That guy had me to write my name and number as if I really don't know him. But I did it, you guys. Obedience. It don't matter what it looked like and how it don't make sense. You do it anyways.